Chicago is a city of green, a city that safeguards its precious environment. Welcome to Chicago at Play.
Chicago has had a troubled history with fire, but long before the Windy City made a name for itself, fire was part of the natural process. A tool used to develop the native landscape that is still used by land managers today.
Burning is an essential part of ecological restoration for the establishment and maintaining the health of that community, whether it be a woodland or a prairie or wetlands.
The Chicago Park District has over 550 acres of natural areas, and these natural areas represent the habitats that normally are found in the Midwest. These habitats over thousands of years have evolved with fire, and therefore we use prescribed fire as a tool to manage these habitats.
A lot of the plants that you have in the area or plant communities are fire dependent. So in the absence of fire, they will not grow or thrive like they're supposed to. Burning does several things. They do weed control, which then decreases your costs down the road for doing weed control. At Rainbow Beach, they've got willows popping up in different areas. So when you get fire to roll through there, it kills the willows or sets them back so that they don't have to come out with chemicals and treat them at a later date.
Most of the plants that we have in our natural areas are adapted to survive through fire because they have buds that are below the soil surface. So when a fire does come through, those plants are not damaged. The plants that we find in the prairies that we burn, their below ground systems can be twice the length of their above ground, and therefore these plants survive very well through fire.
Burning season takes place during the spring and fall months. Prior to a prescribed burn, the Chicago Park District alerts the community by posting notices in the park, communicating with advisory councils and aldermen on scheduled burns, and contacting the Chicago Fire Department.
The prescription really is which areas need burning and which areas don't. The controlled portion of it is that we're actually setting fire in a controlled manner to keep it in the boundaries that we have set as the burn unit. So we do an actual burn prescription that deals with technical aspects of taking into consideration the type of fuel that you have, whether it's grass-dominated prairie or forb-dominated prairie, or you've got an oak woodland. So depending on the plant community that you have and the fuel that you're actually going to be consuming, that's the first part of it. And then you put down what wind conditions you want, the relative humidity that you have, how far the smoke is going to be lifting. So all those components and more go into putting an actual prescription of when is it safe to actually burn.
For additional information on prescribed burn management, visit chicagoparkdistrict.com or call 312-742-PLAY.
The more you're able to use the natural tools that these ecosystems are used to, like burning, the less mechanical methods that you have to use or chemical methods that you have to use. And when you are able to do those, in the end, you wind up with a prairie or a woodland or what have you that is more representative of a remnant community versus a restored community. So you have a better results in the end. And I think the Park District is seeing that on their sites.
We conduct these burns mainly for the health of this habitat. After we do a burn, these areas are more rich with flowers, and therefore they attract more insects, and when you have more flowers you have more fruit, which also attracts more birds. So we don't do these burns just for the sake of the habitat or because these prairies and woodlands have evolved with burns. We have specific ecological reasons to conduct these burns, and at the end the benefits are to the wild animals and to the community who see that the habitats in our parks are flourishing.